Friends, I Shivardhan welcome you to my new video. You can subscribe to this channel, that is Mission Tathastu, on YouTube, as well as you can visit our website, that is missiontathastu.com, or email us directly, that is missiontathastu@gmail.com. So with your queries, with any type of personalized consultation help, so you are most welcome to do that. In this video, we shall be discussing an important aspect of person's life, that is education. So is there a single line that defines education on your palm, or we have to see certain other things also? So that is an important question that we will explore in this video. So basically, the education line, this is the Saturn mount, this is the Sun mount. So the education line travels from this point downwards toward this point. Okay, so it is between the Sun mount as well as the Saturn mount. It is also called the higher education line because this is not the common sign which everybody has. So whosoever has this sign, so he or she is said to have a higher education, or is considered a very person who's having a very good intellectual and who pursues education in their specific field. So this has further two options. Okay, if this line is there and it is bending towards the Sun mount like this, or it could be bending towards the Saturn mount. So there could be two further options. If it is straight, it is fine, and if it is bending towards the Sun mount, then there are chances that that person will attain so much through his or her education. There are chances of any sort of materialistic gain in terms of money, finances, fame. So it is a very good sign or very auspicious sign if this education line bends towards the Sun mount. And if this education line bends towards the Saturn mount, then there is said to be, the person is highly educated, but somewhere there is a quotient of struggle in his or her life, that you might be very much educated, but you are not getting the similar amount of returns from your education what you have gained so much in your life. So this is the second option. So the better option is always the straight line or bending towards the Sun line. So this is the primary indication, or as we call in the palmistry, education line of education. Okay, but is it sufficient? No. So we have to consider, if it is not there, okay, then also people do receive very higher education, but there are other indications also that we have to consider. Okay, in this video we'll explore all these options. First of all, you have to study the brain line. The brain line is this line, brain or head line. It is said it is goes through similar way in the lifeline. It is above the lifeline and beneath the heart line. This is the brain line. So what the length of the brain line also defines what will be the suitable field for that person. Okay, so how this length of the brain line supports this aspect? If the brain line is somewhere, this is the middle of the hand, if I would say. Okay, this is the middle of the pointer or the line that I have made from Sun mount and the Saturn mount is in between. So this is the middle of the hand. So if the brain line goes to this point, or it is smaller, or it doesn't reaches this point, it is a smaller brain line. So the person is having more physical capabilities than the getting into the conventional methods of education. So these person, if you put these person into education, okay, say book knowledge or try to take certain exams or something like that, so there are chances that they will not receive that success what they have always in their mind, or what you desire for them. But if you put these people in any sort of physical activity or sports, or say any sort of dancing, or any sort of talent which requires any adventure sport, so if that requires any sort of physical activity is involved, so these people attain so much of success. So education is never, I would say, never bind to books only for them. So the education is real-time education for them, is to explore, to have adventure in their life, to explore any sport, and they will make a good career for them. So this line, if brain line goes toward the middle of the hand, and what if that this brain line goes beyond it? If it goes beyond it and it is straight, longer is the best, and if it is straight, those people have special abilities to grasp technical knowledge. They would be very good at in mathematics, accounts, technically physics. So they have capabilities of becoming a chartered accountant, as well as any sort of technical, any sort of engineer or scientist. So they have that capability of grasping so much of knowledge, calculations, having a logical having logical theories and all those things. So if you are having a brain line and that is also straight, so you are having a very good chances of clearing any sort of chartered accountancy test, or you becoming engineer, or any other where technical knowledge is there, where calculation part is there. So you must be very good in that. So this line indicates that. What if this brain line goes downward like this? Brain line going downward. So this is the creative part. This indicates that you are having a philosophical approach toward the thing. You are having a creative approach toward the thing. You could be a good writer. You could develop some creative products in your life. You have that creative aspect. Okay, anything related to travel, anything related to art, anything related to maybe movies, cinema, whatever it is. Wherever there is a creative aspect, you must pursue that line or pursue that education field. So you will definitely get success, and you will achieve the highest levels in that respective profession. So that is basically the creative part. So I'm just telling you, this is although related to the profession, but if this brain line doesn't match the education field that you are getting, so there are chances that you will not, although other lines are all there, other indications are there, but you will not reach to the higher level, or the level which people look forward for you to achieve. So this is the basic indication. So we have to consider the brain line also, that if brain line is smaller, then the person is not suitable for any sort of activity, or any sort of education related to CA, technical education, or engineering, or any sort of creative aspect. He is good at physical activities, so he should pursue education into that itself. He can become a dietitian, he can become a good gym coach, or something like that. He can become in that field, but he will face difficulties if he chooses another field apart from that. So similarly, if their line is straight and we put that person into some kind of creative learning, or maybe some kind of poetry or some kind of literature, so there are chances that these people feel bored into it, because their brain need calculations, they need engineering sort of thing, they need practical examination of things, so they are technical in mind. So we have to consider this before pursuing any field of education. So number one is the education line that I have already showed you. This is the education line. Second is the brain, the length of the brain line, which is depicted on your hand. Okay, now there are two other options also. There are two other aspects also that we have to consider. Number one is this health line, or the line of Mercury. Okay, two aspects we have covered so far. The remaining two aspects are, this is line of Mercury, that is related to your health. So if it is disturbed, it is broken, so there are possibilities that you are having certain type of health troubles, or your health is very sensitive and you are not able to cope with the pressure of education, or you are not able to perform in your exams due to such certain reasons. So that is, if that is broken in your hand, so that is also indication that apart from having certain good indication related to education, but this will become an obstacle in your life. So health is very much important if you are looking forward for a higher education, or maybe people travel abroad also for higher education. So, but health is not supporting, then other things also will not support you. So the main criteria, the third criteria is the health line or the line of the Mercury. So now we come to the last part, but it is not the least part. See, the mount of Jupiter. This is the index finger and this is the mount of Jupiter. So if there is any good indication like star, triangle, square into it, so there shouldn't be, a mole. Like mole is a negative indication for this mount. Okay, so if there is any supportive good sign, say if you are having a star over here, or if you are having a square, independent square over here, there shouldn't be any grill, there shouldn't be any mole. So if that is there, so this is a very good indication and a very supportive indication for higher education. So if all these indications are there in your hand, or maybe 3 or 4, or maybe 2 or 3, so you will succeed accordingly in the higher education. Or people ask, okay, will I travel abroad for education? So for this also we'll have to study all these aspects. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it, and I will be back with new video very soon. Thank you.